Hi, I'm Keely, also known as Kelly.
And I'm Fili, also known as Alex.
Welcome to our corner of the Shire,
Where we will show you how to bring Middle Earth
into your daily life to keep you
a happy hobbit.
Welcome to this episode of Happy Hobbit. Here we are in Rohan with, if you can see her there, Eowyn on her lovely homestead on the outskirts of, Rohan and Edoras and everything. And here we are with Banner and Clyde, her battle steeds. And she has actually been to war.
I didn't get to kill any Olipons or the Witch King.
But she was still quite the hero, just like Eowyn. And today, she's going to teach us, it was a big fight. She's going to teach us a lot of things about her lovely piggies and their goats and all the other wonderful things that Eowyn knows about.
Sounds like a good plan. So I was in the forces of Rohan, aka the United States Army, for almost 4 years. I was a combat medic, or a healer of the Guardians of Peace, actually. I missed my home the entire time that I was in, but at the same time, I was extremely blessed with the places I got to see and the people that I met. But I'm very glad to be home and be with my animals and my friends and my family.
Look at red eyelashes, aren't they so cute? That's for she's a little ginger pig.
She's a cutie.
Oh my goodness.
Hi, Russell.
You are pretty. Let's see.
Will you say what type of pigs are these?
They're a variety. We've got the black and white ones are mostly Berkshire. The spot ones are like a heritage breed, typically old spot, and then they actually just call them heritage pigs. And they're funny. They're really smart too. Super smart. But especially when they're little, they're really cute. And they're fun to. Not to mention, they're just like garbage cans. They'll pretty much eat anything you put in there. I mean, that pumpkin's pretty nasty and rotten, but they're still like, yes! Let's eat it! And the rotten apples. We toss in rotten apples, and they get fed twice a day. We're up to probably about 25 pounds each feeding almost.
For 7 pigs?
Yeah. Run! Avast, beasties!
Go, Eowyn, go! Go, Eowyn, go!
Do the bangs look me sexy? They're getting fed a lot. I mean, we're trying to finish them off finishing them off is in giving them some last bit of nutrients and putting on a little extra weight before we slaughter them and stuff. Pig tips, if you want to eat them, feed them a lot, because, you want them to get big, but not too fat, because the fatter they are, the less actual meat you get from them after you slaughter them, because it's a lot of waste.
And what do you do with the meat?
We eat it. We butcher it, and then we take it down to one of our local meat lockers, and they process it and stuff, either into sausages, bacon, hams, all that good stuff, whatever we want, really. And it's good. It's really good.
And
I just slaughtered two turkeys I'd raised, and they were both 40 pounds each, dressed out. And we got them smoked, and the meat is better than anything you could possibly find in the store. So it's definitely worth it if you have the space and you have the time.
so what do they need to be happy?
Mud. Well, this is unintentional mud, but they like the mud. And just space to be pigs.
I love it!
And then, But as you can tell, these pigs, this used to be a pretty nice pen, and now they've dug up all the rocks and stuff, and they're under mining the bank over here, and they're very, very destructive.
Hi, you.
There's a reason people actually just keep them in concrete lots so they can't dig it up. Oh my God! Look at like the hole they dug. Oh, that's
Are you okay?
It was a hole for you to land in. But one of the ways you can keep them from doing that is put a ring in their nose, so then it's painful for them to root. But and definitely, you know, you don't want to raise a pig by themselves because they'd just be very lonely and very sad. So having a herd like this definitely keeps them happy and entertained. April or May, I think.
Hi, Fergus. Hi, Fergus. Yes, you good dog.
And I mean, actually, one of their favorite things to do is just carry those plastic feed tubs around and twirl them and scratch on the troughs and stuff. So honestly, that's all you really need for piggies. But,
Hi, Fergus. Hi, Fergus. You're a good dog. Yes, you're a good dog. You're a very good dog. You're a very good dog. I see you. Yes, you good boy.
she's like, hi, honey.
She's adorable.
She's not.
So here are the goaties.
Yep, that's the goats. And then we got this dolphin. To keep out your friendly local pests like wargs and mountain lions.
Probably the occasional urkai.
Yeah, definitely, because we don't want them eating them because that's not such a.
Because you guys, that's happened to you guys.
Yes, numerous times. And you know, it's been hard, but we adapt, overcome, and made the fences, and now they're pretty much safe. Knock on wood. So we haven't had any issues recently, and I mean, it looks a little over the top, but it works.
Yeah, it's what you need to do.
So a mountain lion got in there?
Yeah, actually, a couple mountain lions have gotten in on various occasions, and they'd kill the goats for sport, pretty much. They tried to take them out, but it was too heavy, so they just jump out and go off.
Yeah, they are.
So wait, you came out and some of them were dead and the other ones were shaking? Oh.
It's really so sad. I mean, especially, I forget how old my sister and I were, but we were pretty young, and that's an incredibly traumatic experience when these were goats that we'd loved and cared for. One of them was a doe that we pulled from the brink of death with milk fever, and then she got killed by a mountain lion, and that was really, really hard. We contacted the game warden, and they issued us a depredation permit so we could get rid of the mountain lion if it so chose to come back, which, that's how we got rid of one.
So he made the mistake of returning?
We just left the goat carcass out there and called right back in for dinner. So, and that was their last supper.
And luckily for the cats, we have a healthy big population in these mountains, so it doesn't hurt them.
No, we've got plenty. They need to come to our house and eat our deer. We have too many.
She was just so in awe by how it's weird. This is our one milk goat, Kampala, and she's kind of in a head-locking device, so she doesn't move out while we're milking her, and she's just eating her.
Sweet cob, or?
It's actually a special goat mix mixed in with all-in-one.
What does all-in-one have about in it? Like
All-in-one is chopped up alfalfa hay, and then they add molasses to it, I think, but they also can have oat hay in it too as well. And then like the more grainy stuff, it's got corn, oats, and barley, and then pellets that have a lot of nutritious stuff like minerals that are really good for does that are producing milk.
Well, I'm pretty hungry. Are you hungry?
Hell yeah.
our neighbors' horses used to have that, so when we go feed them, I'd sneak handfuls down to our horses.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. So she really likes that. It's like goat candy. So if I was actually milking, I'd have our can that we put the milk in. I'd have the can that I milk in. What we do is we first wash off the goat's udder with a mixture. It's just hot water, and it's got a little bit of Dawn soap and a tiny bit of Clorox to kind of clean the udder. And then after that, we just rinse it off with plain hot water, well, warm water, so to speak, and then it's ready to go. We dry it off, and then we start milking. So I'm just gonna milk into this, and then we can give the milk to the dogs or whatever. To milk, you know, pretty much put your hand around like that and just squeeze the milk out. I mean, you gotta wonder, like, who thought about squeezing the udder and, oh, hey, look at that, milk comes out. But, so and then you can do it by 2 hands to make it go faster. And it tastes really good. I'm so sorry, Kelly. It's okay.
Sometimes dwarves are caught in the line. Keely doesn't milk. Keely got caught in the line of fire.
And what happens sometimes when Eowyn gets hungry while she's milking?
I eat. And it's delicious.
Fresh as it can come.
Yes, it is. Very fresh.
I want to try some. Aim, ready, fire!
Misfire, misfire, misfire.
Try it. How accurate is your aim? That's good.
You have a little bit of a mess. At least my aim with an IV is better than with milking.
Look at that come out, man.
So some of the time you just throw out the milk?
I mean, like, most of the time when we do throw it out, it's because one of the goats gets feisty and puts her foot in the bucket, and then we can't salvage that, so we give it to the dogs, for the most part. Or when we had our little runt pig, we fed her goat milk, and when we got this little piggy, she was this tiny, scrawny, emaciated thing who hadn't been fed in like a day, and we gave her goat milk, and like in a couple days she was much better. So goat milk has amazing properties when it comes to helping animals like that.
So, like our goats that we have at home, they're not dairy goats because if we wanted a dairy goat, what would we have had to do?
I mean, you'd have to check around where you live to find any breeders that have milk does or any type that would be good for milking. I mean, the goats we have are kind of a mixed mash and they milk just fine, whereas a lot of people are like, oh, Nubians, you know, La Manchas, Saanens are the best milk does, but honestly it's what fits your lifestyle and what you can afford, because some of those more fancy breeds are a little more expensive to acquire. And just being able to have the right facilities to keep them and the right kind of food and stuff.
Because once you breed a doe, if you want the milk, you have to keep milking even after.
Yeah, so I mean, the usual cycle is, you know, you have a doe, it gets bred by a buck, and it, you know, it has the kid, and the kid nurses, which actually a lot of dairies, what they'll do is they'll wean, you know, they'll take the kids off, bottle feed them, and then start milking the doe right away after they've had the kid. So, but what we do is we usually wait to wean the kids till they're past about 9 weeks, and then we start milking. So,
How often do you milk?
I milk once every evening. So a lot of people, they'll milk twice a day. Right now my schedule can't afford to milk twice a day. So.
What happens if you skip a day?
Their udder gets very swollen and very painful, and they'll be very, you know, they'll be like you need to pee. Only they need to get milked. Yeah, so it's not a good thing for the goat. And then, I mean, what would I do without my morning milk on my cereal and in my coffee?
Yeah.
So there's a process. I mean, what we do is we have these filters, and we filter it. It's just to get any hair that, or, you know, dust that you get in it from the goat, and then, you know, usually we put it in the fridge and stuff, but we for ourselves, personal consumption, we don't pasteurize it or anything. We just drink it, and it's delicious.
Yeah, and with goat milk, you can make all sorts of things.
My mom and I make cheese. My mom makes canela or dulce de leche, so like caramel pretty much, and it's very good to put in like coffee or on top of ice cream and stuff. And she has made soap in the past, which is really cool too as well. But mostly we just stick to cheese and drinking the milk.
So do you ever have to buy supplemental milk for yourselves at the store, or do you just live off this?
Well, we're gonna be stopping milking these two does, so they can get bred. So we're gonna be without goat milk for a few months. So yes, we have to go down the rung or two to drink store-bought cow's milk. So it's just kind of sad.
Time for a snack!
Who wants to know? What is Eowyn?
Hi, serious.
What does Eowyn have, huh?
I got him.
I see you, Fergus.
So should I ask her?
Oh,
crap.
Fergus! Come on, kids! Come on! There we go! Come on, Fergus! Come on! Drink your milky!
Hey, hobbits need to eat.
Hey, they do.
he's desperate.
He's like, I've never.
Look at his tail.
Transplanted himself over here a few years ago and he's our cat.
That's hilarious.
I know it's like what?
Just under some random redwood up in the hill, and it was just so funny.
I can't remember the name of the mare you guys had. She was.
Yeah. And this beautiful dog of Rohan also needs snacks.
Hi, Keelan. Hi, Keelan. I have milk on my lips. I do. You smell it on my cheek.
Eomer's wedding. Eowyn, is this going to be your date instead of Faramir to Eomer's wedding?
Yep.
Wow.
Faramir's not nearly as sexy as Fergus.
Wait, I see you.
One of the things you can do with your goat milk is make it into cheese, and that's one of our favorite things to do in my household is to make the cheese because it's fantastically delicious as a sandwich or on top of something. One of our favorite things is to do one of my mom's made up salads that has crumbled goat cheese on it. So first thing we want is you want a gallon of goat milk. Actually, you can also do this with store-bought milk too as well if you want to make your own cheese at home. So
Does it have to be whole milk?
I don't know if people ever tried. I mean, it'd probably be better if it was whole milk, definitely. Just because it'd probably be better flavor and stuff. Because I mean, that 1% stuff is pretty much like white colored water, honestly. Vesuvius. Anyways, so once you get the gallon of milk going, you can put it in something like this. This is a pressure cooker, but you can put it in any kind of pan, big pan, big enough, and then, but make sure it's easy to handle to pour it out when you need to and stuff. So we're going over here to the stove, and what you want to do is we heat up the milk until it's pretty much almost boiling. So what you can do is you can use any type of vinegar. Our preference is apple cider vinegar. You don't have to use Heinz. But we use 3/4 of a cup of vinegar. I'm getting that ready. As you can see, the milk is pretty much to its boiling point. So I'm going to turn off the heat. And
How can you tell when it's at the boiling point?
I mean, you can see like little bubbles and stuff, and you got this kind of skin and stuff, and it just slowly rises too.
Okay.
And so you put in the 3/4 of a cup of milk, and it curdles. You can use a spoon, kind of mix it in, and it's not curdling immediately.
So the vinegar
But
just.
yeah, the vinegar curdles it, and you can see it right there.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
That's our cheese.
Look at that coming, man.
So does it have a slight apple flavor to it then?
Not really, no. And what we do to season it is a lot of times okay, so the next step after this is to let this sit for about an hour to cool off, so it's easier to handle when we add the spices, well, not spices, but rosemary and garlic salt to it. And then we put it in, well, rewind that. You gotta strain out the whey after it's been sitting, and so then all you have left is the cheese curds. You don't want it too drained out because then it'll be really dry. So once you do that, you put it in a cheesecloth, and then you can mix in, however much garlic, salt, or whatever seasonings you want into the cheese, and then you form it up.
So how do you strain out the whey from the curdles?
What we do is we use a colander, and we'll take the colander, just put it in our sink, and then we actually line the colander with the cheesecloth, and then we pour that so the whey goes down into the, to drain and
So
stuff.
this is something that most people can do with stuff that they already have. They don't
Yes.
have to go out and buy any fancy pans or anything like that.
Yeah, just do it in your own home.
Oh, there goes Theoden.
Hi, this is the
Happy Hobbit is more important!
and what do you need?
Go away! And never come back! So, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to show y'all how I finish forming the cheese and seasoning it and stuff. But this is the finished product. The cheese name is paneer. That's the kind of cheese, instead of Parmesan or whatever. So it's very good. I'll take a hunk off and eat it all the time. Or I'll put it on bread and eat it like that as a sandwich. So yeah, it's really good. As far as me being in the military, it's something that has always fascinated me, watching more movies, reading histories about World War II and beyond that, as well as reading Lord of the Rings. And I felt that, if I didn't get that experience, that I would regret it for the rest of my life. And so I had to step out the door and just do it. I left home at 17 for basic training and went on from that. I turned 19 in Afghanistan, and, getting that experience would be, I would not be the same person if I didn't have those experiences and stuff. Getting out there and seeing the world. I didn't know I wanted to be in the medical field until I signed on as a medic, and then I realized as I got more into my training that it was something I was good at and that I loved helping people. And I highly suggest to anybody out there, if you have a passion about it, do it. I don't regret a single day that I spent in the military. Got to meet a lot of amazing people. I'm not saying military is for everybody, but it's just like Frodo and Sam doing their adventure across Middle-earth, you just gotta do it, and you see amazing things, and changes you, but it's good. It's good,
And you come back home to your Shire?
I do! I come back to my home, to my Shire, and I look around me, and I'm like, how could I ever leave this? At the same, and I don't plan on leaving it anytime soon, but at the same time, it was definitely worth it, and always came back.
And you brought home a Rohan steed.
I did, from the great lands of Tennessee and Kentucky. But, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that with us. Did you find that there were many people in the service with you who were into Middle-earth?
Not really. It was kind of shocking. There was a few people I would watch Lord of the Rings occasionally, but honestly, mostly it was just a personal
personal thing, you know, that not a lot of people were into. I think a lot of people nowadays are a lot more into video games and TV shows and stuff than actual amazing literature like Lord of the Rings and, you know, The Hunger Games and all those other fantastic books that are out there that let a person escape from what they're going through at the time. And so, I mean, the movies are just as good too as well for getting one away from a lot of the stressors and stuff.
Give me some
You're not stupid, Keely. Fili, I'm sorry. We forget who we are half the time anyway.
I'm like, Fili! And I was like,
I know, I'll call her Keely all the time.
You're not stupid, Fili. You're not. So
Yes, I apologize for saying that in the viral video, by the way.
I don't even remember that.
It's in our new one when you said I'm gonna piss in the theater. After you declared,
when I saw that, I was like, oh no.
after Orlando Bloom quoted you with it and Jimmy Fallon, you're like, I'm not gonna say it again. Instead you said it even worse.
He's like, apples are boobs. Boobs are apples.
They're round.
Protect against all the
Protect against nobody because they go, oh, you're here to steal everything? Hi, pet me.
Come on in.
You want to kill my family? Okay.
You need to do anyway.
I really liked your milk mustache here, Fili. Let me get a
It's
picture.
like a half stash.
It is. It got half shaved. I felt so cheesy. Wasn't it, Karen?
Like, sounds like a good plan.
I like when Clyde was like,
No, it looks.
I'm sexy for the camera.
Hey, once Orlando Bloom has made it like a public statement, I kind of gotta live up to it. I've gotta do it.
There's gonna be internet meme. It's gonna be your face and it's gonna say, goes to see the Hobbit, peas pants.
It's gonna be like the world famous meme.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who used to sneak bites of food out of the barn.
Lexi and I used to eat dog food and stuff. Shit kickers. Shit kickers. Oh my god, look at like the whole big dog. Oh, that's the whole big dog. Oh, that's the
what did you say? What just happened? So what just happened, Eowyn?
We were explaining why
Certain goat cheeses smell very goaty, kind of gross, but this one doesn't. But why would a goat cheese smell particularly goaty?
The reason goat cheese smells and tastes very goaty is because people leave their bucks in with their does all year round, even while they're milking.
And what do bucks do?
Bucks pee on their beards. Thank goodness dwarves don't do that. Because that would make them rather unattractive. That's how they warn. You've been warned. You've been warned. You've been feeling none of that from you guys.
Hey, it's good.
And by goaty, you mean it tastes like a goat smells.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Thomas farts every time he sneezes.
Not every time. It's just
Pretty often.
occasionally he contracts and it comes out both ends.
It's beautiful. Thank you to Eowyn for teaching us so many wonderful things about her Rohan homestead, and we hope you guys have learned something and has left you a very happy Hobbit. I feel like I messed that up.
It was good.
Okay.